Hello, fellow warriors. Welcome back to FanZcene. Greg here, and today I have for you this movie made me. With a lot of talk about the new James Gunn Superman movie coming soon, the trailer at least we'll be getting here soon. Superman's on the mind of a lot of people, and I really wanted to talk to you guys about Superman, the movie 1978, the movie that made me. What do I mean by that? I'm sure that you guys have seen a lot of those videos, and I think there even was a show called The Movies That Made Us, and where people talk about the movies that basically made them and what got them into things. And this movie here is basically the movie that made me the nerd I am, you and physical media lover, movie lover that you guys see before you today. I'm going to tell you a little story about it, talk a little bit about the movie and stuff. So I hope you guys sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. And maybe subscribe, like, and all that when we get to it. But Superman the movie is a movie that I've talked about before, where I vividly remember seeing it. If it's not the first movie I've ever seen, it's one of the very first movie I've ever seen, and I remember sitting in my house. Probably, I believe I was on the floor, and I was watching Superman the movie for the very first time as a young kid, and it just blew my mind. I had never been so engrossed into a movie before in my entire life up until that point. I absolutely love this movie. Christopher Reeve, his portrayal as Superman and Clark Kent was just it blew my mind. I wanted to know everything there was about Superman. And if you haven't noticed, I'm a huge Superman fan. If you can see behind me and everything, I actually wanted to know so much about this character. I bought the comics, I bought the books. I read up on him. I studied him. I learned everything I could about Superman because I fell in love with the character and I fell in love with the movie, and I absolutely love the movie. It's probably one of my all-time favorite movies. If I'm ever having a bad day, if I just feel bad, sometimes I just put this movie on. It's great. I do have all the movies here, by the way. For better or worse, I love all the Christopher Reeve movies. Better or worse, I love them. And there's just something special about his portrayal and his performance, and it's just captured me. When I say this movie made me, not only did this movie lead me into the realm of Superman and superheroes and loving superheroes and learning about Superman and collecting comic books, but it also led me to other sci-fi, action, fantasy, horror movies, because once I found my love of movies, especially through Superman, I wanted to see so much more. I wanted to see so much more, from Star Wars to Back to the Future to Freddy Krueger to Jason to the Universal monsters and stuff. It all sort of just came together just from seeing this one movie, and I absolutely love this movie. Just just seeing Marlon Brando in the beginning on Krypton and the explosion of Krypton, and then Superman coming to Earth as a baby, and Mom and Pa kept finding him, and he saves him. He lifts up the truck and he saves him, and just like from then on out, and then like him becoming Superman. And there's times like the scene when he catches her falling from the helicopter, and he flies up and he catches her, and she's like, "You've got me. Who's got you?" And he flies up and he's like, "I hope this hasn't turned you off from flying. Statistically, it's still the safest way to travel." Just that earnestness of it, saving the cat in the tree in the movie and everything. And then like the scene, one of my favorite scenes is like, and I think a lot of people talk about this scene as well too, is like the scene when he shows you how Clark Kent can be different from Superman with Lois. Because after he flies with Lois, he has this big romantic thing with her as Superman, and then he comes as Clark Kent and stuff, right? So he's there with her, and and he's slouching a little bit, and he takes off the glasses, stands up. I do that to myself. Sometimes I think about that because I'll catch myself slouching and stuff sometimes, and I'll sit up, and it's something about that changes your posture and everything, and it changes you. And as somebody who's a nerd who wears glasses and stuff, you don't understand what it is to see. I mean, it's very hard to be a Superman fan because everybody loves Batman, but there's something about seeing somebody who, whether he's a nerd or not, right? But he presents himself as this nerd with glasses, smart, oh shucks, and all this and all that, and swell. It's swell. But underneath of him, something so special, so strong, so powerful that he can help the world. He provides hope. And that's just something special that I gravitate towards that. I love my horror movies and stuff. That's what, I love seeing the horror movies, and, that provides me with the darkness, as you could say it was. But I've always been a fan of hope, truth, justice, and the American way. Yes, baby, truth, justice, and the American way was instilled into me from the early age when I saw Superman the movie. And it's just a fantastic movie. You know, there's something I just want to say this sort of like, I've been thinking about this, like with movies and stuff. I don't need everything to be photorealistic in a movie. I don't need things with CGI and everything, to be so realistic and to be so serious and everything. There's something magical about those fantastical movies from the past, about the practical effects. Sometimes it doesn't look right. Sometimes it looks, you can see the wires and all. Sometimes you can see the puppetry, right? But there's something magical about them. There's something special about them. These are movies, folks, right? That they don't need to be real. They're fiction. They're taking you away to another world, to another time, to another place, to seeing a man fly. And you know what? That was one of the greatest taglines I've ever heard is you will believe a man will fly. And to this day, I still believe this man can fly because Superman the movie is by far one of my all-time favorite movies and the movie that essentially made me the nerdiest person I am today. I mean, like I still wear a Superman ring on my finger. I got that for Christmas one year, and I love it. I have like so many copies of this movie. I only brought the new 4K sets on, but I have this on DVD. I have this on Blu-ray. I have another 4K of this because I bought that before the big 4K set came out. The only thing I really I don't have the VHS, and I could have sworn I had the VHS. Right, I could have sworn I kept on to my childhood VHS of Superman. I'm sure I'll find it somewhere eventually in the attic or somewhere in the garage where I put up VHSs because I thought I would have found it when I found all my VHSs a while back, but I didn't. But there's something about this, and the him and Lois, that love story still gets me. As a man, I can appreciate the love story, right? It's just something special about that, and just something truly, truly special about this movie. And I'm really hoping that James Gunn new Superman movie can be good because at the end of the day, I just want to see a really good Superman movie. I think Christopher Reeve to me will always be Superman. And then I'm not opposed to other people playing Superman or anything like that. It's just he nailed the role so perfectly. I don't think anybody's ever topped him. But I absolutely love Dean Cain as Superman. I actually liked Brandon Routh as Superman. I just thought he was straddled with some really bad Superman movie. I like Henry Cavill Superman. I think he was great. He was once again straddled with some bad Superman movies. Those are probably the top of the top. And George Reeve, I love George Reeve. I went back after years and years of watching this to go and watch all the original George Reeve Superman episodes. So good, so good. It's just such a good series. It's just Superman is just by far my favorite, and I want to know your guys's. What's a movie that made you? My fellows, what's the movie that made you? Leave that in the comment section down below. And what you guys thought about this video? What you guys think about Superman movie? And if you don't like it, you don't like it. Like I said, it's tough being a Superman fan. Because everybody, the big blue Boy Scout, everybody just seems like, oh, he's too overpowered. All this, it's hard to be a Superman fan. That's why I'm hoping the new movie is really good. But let me know your guys' thoughts and comments down below, and your guys' movies that made you. Maybe consider hitting that like button or subscribing, hitting that bell for notifications if you like what you saw here, or possibly share the video out for everybody to see, or join and become a channel member because that would help out my channel immensely. Thank you and shout out to all my channel members. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you guys for being channel members here and for all of your support. And to everybody watching, whether you liked me, hated me, or liked this video or hated this video, I thank you for sticking this long. Always support physical media because it truly is the superior format. Godspeed.